every page you see online, every app on your phone, and even the street lights on the street, there is a secret world of code. Not spy code or anything like that, but lines and lines of text, like this. This is what powers our world. And understanding it gives you an inside look into the back end of our society. This is why I code. I code so I can see the inner workings of the lights on the street. So I can see how Google collects every little bit of information about me and sells it to the NSA or something. I write code so I can learn how to work as a team and create something bigger than I could on my own. And hacer código me ayudó a aprender español. Coding helped me learn Spanish. Now, before we get too far into this, let's have a brief overview of what code is. So, by definition, it is a system of words, letters, figures, or other symbols substituted for other words, letters, or symbols, especially for the purposes of secrecy. That's not what I'm talking about. The dictionary has another definition under computing. That's right here. It says program information with the example of hundreds of lines of code. Now that definition doesn't really give us much in the way of understanding what code really is. So what it is a series of commands that are interpreted by a computer as instructions for things to do. And that's converted into binary like this. This particular set of binary says, "Hey mom, I'm on stage." But that's a bit technical. Think of code as a recipe, but for an app. Each line is an ingredient, and once you put it all together and run it through an oven or a computer, it comes out with a nice piping hot web page or app. Now that can be something as simple as this, or something as complicated as this, the Google homepage. Now, this might not seem that complicated, but there's all this code behind it. And all this is doing is just styling the page. So code is fairly powerful. It's what many of our government offices work off of, and most major corporations couldn't survive without it. This is what code does for us. It powers our world. So how has code helped me learn Spanish? Well, okay, hang on. We're having technical difficulties here. This is one of the other problems with code, is sometimes it doesn't always work the way you want it to. There can be times where you think something's gonna work just the same every time, but that's not always true. There are different environmental factors that can, just break everything and cause problems like this, which is super awkward for me on stage, and I have to improvise basically everything that I'm saying right now. Okay. So, code isn't just one thing. There are different languages with different purposes. The key word there is language. Like spoken languages, code has structure, abbreviations, and even old words that nobody uses anymore. So learning code is like learning a new language. It takes the same sort of mindset as learning Spanish. This is why I code. But coding isn't just randomly typing text on a screen and hoping that it works. I mean, it sometimes is, but there's logic and reasoning behind that code. Coding teaches you problem solving and creative thinking. It teaches you how to do everything in the quickest way possible with the fewest steps. Like this. This is a bit of code I wrote just for this presentation. It's only a few lines.